Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are pulling back the curtain and giving you a real inside look at how your exam questions are actually marked. We're not guessing here. We are going straight to the source.
So what you're looking at right here, this is the examiner's guide. It's the official rule book they use to figure out where every single mark comes from. We're going to use this to really understand what a perfect answer looks like. And we're going to focus in on just one question. Question 4.
It's the big question, right? Every student wants to know. Well, you know what? Let's just move past all the guesswork and look at the cold, hard facts. By breaking down question 4, we're going to see the exact wording that guarantees you get those marks.
Okay, let's dive right in. First up, we've got question 04.1. This is a classic one-mark question. It's all about picking the right piece of equipment for a measurement. Seems simple, but you've got to be super precise.
And boom, here's the answer, straight from the mark scheme. And wow, is it direct? To get that single mark, the only, and I mean only, acceptable answers are balanced or scales. See that little forward slash? In examiner speak, that means either of these words is a winner. Anything else, no matter how close you think it is, just won't get you the point.
All right, let's look at question 04.2. This time, it's not about a physical tool, it's about the tools in your head, specifically remembering an equation. This is another one marker, but there's a little more flexibility here.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because the mark scheme actually gives you options. The official document uses the word or, and that's so important. As you can see, it means you can get the full mark for writing the equation out in words, or for using the correct symbols. So two different paths, but they both lead to the same result. 1 mark in the bag.
Okay, let's move on to 04.3. This is the calculation, and you'll see how this all builds. Things are about to get a bit more detailed. We're jumping from a simple 1-mark question to a 3-mark question, and this one is all about showing your process.
So, here's the crucial point. Those 3 marks aren't just for the final number. No way. Each step of your work is worth a mark on its own. You get 1 mark just for plugging the numbers into the formula correctly. You get a 2nd mark for rearranging the equation to find v, and then the final mark comes from getting the right answer. It just goes to show you, writing down your work isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely non-negotiable.
And finally, let's take a look at 044. Now, this question isn't about knowing a fact or a formula. It's about showing you understand what makes an experiment good. It's all about justification.
See, to get this mark, you can't just say repeat the readings. The mark scheme is super clear on this. You have to explain why you're doing it. You need to show that the whole point of repeating them is to check for consistency, to show that the readings are, and I quote, close together. That justification part, that's what the examiner's really looking for.
And this right here, this is a perfect example of a key piece of insider language from the mark scheme. The word allow. When you see allow, it's like a little hint that the examiner has a list of other words or phrases they'll accept. So in this case, if you wrote that you repeat readings to check that they're the same, that's totally fine. You still get the mark.
So, after all that, what have we really learned by cracking the code of this one question? Well, by looking at it through the examiner's eyes, we've basically uncovered a clear set of rules for how to score top marks every time.
Really, it all boils down to this. You've got to be precise with your words, like using balance or scales. You need to know your formulas, whether in words or symbols. You have to show every single step in your calculations. Don't just say what you do in an experiment, say why you do it. And finally, get to know the language of the mark scheme itself. These are the principles that take a good answer and make it a perfect one.
At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to know your physics. It's about communicating what you know in the exact way the examiner is trained to reward. Thinking like an examiner. That's the absolute key to answering like a top student.